This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For connectors, cables, and more, visit them at a Hamfest near you or call 920-435-2973 or online at pl-259.com.
It's Ham Radio with Neil Rapp. Here we go. Welcome to Ham Talk Live. Call in, let's talk. Neil's your guy. Ham Talk Live. Here we go on Ham Talk Radio.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We're live from the sold-out SpringHill Suites, Dayton, South Miamisburg. This is Ham Talk Live, episode number 115, live from Dayton 2018, recorded live on Thursday, May 17th, 2018. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ham Talk Live. Tonight we won't be doing our usual call-in show. We'll be doing something new tonight. Tonight we're going to give you all the latest information you need for your trip to Dayton. And if you missed something on the show tonight and need to hear it again, Ham Talk Live will be on hamtalklive.com and all the usual podcast apps within a few minutes after the show, like Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, and will also be on YouTube. And don't forget our mascot, Hammy, will be wandering around Hamvention on Friday and Saturday. We'd love to see your photos with Hammy, so post them online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, use the hashtag HamTalkLive. And if you stop by the Ham Nation and Newsline booth next to Heil Sound, you can get an I'm Not Will Banks button while supplies last and get your picture taken with Flat Dawn and post those with the hashtag I'm Not Will Banks. So tonight we have weather, traffic, parking, news, and all the information we could find about some other activities going on this weekend related to Hamvention for you. So we're going to start off with the weather and with the exclusive StormCenter 7 WHIO-TV Hamvention weather forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell, KD4BNT.
Well, the forecast is going to be a little iffy, but I do think we'll get some dry time in there. We will have to dodge some showers and thunderstorms. It seems to always be the case every year, but the better chances for showers and thunder showers will be early in the day on Friday. We'll keep that chance into the afternoon before tapering off as we get into the evening, but more scattered showers and a few thunderstorms Saturday, not expecting to be anything severe. Does look like we get most of the day in Sunday dry before some showers and storms return in the evening. Temperature should be comfortable, a little bit cool on Friday as we top out in the lower 70s. We will climb up to near 80 again by Saturday and maybe a bit warm on Sunday as we top out in the middle 80s. From the Storm Center, I'm News Center 7 Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell for Ham Talk Live for the Dayton Hamvention 2018.
Hey, thanks, Eric. And you've been here in Dayton for a little while on TV doing weather, but not everyone knows that you're a ham. So tell us a little bit about your ham radio experience.
Well, I've been a ham radio operator really since the late 1990s. My father was very much into it, and I remember in high school listening to him talk all across the world with the different rigs that he had, and I just found it fascinating. With my interest in weather, I've also found that amateur radio worked very well for storm chasing. You know, we're talking about times when cell phones obviously weren't very popular. There were very few and very expensive. So I had my first 2-meter rig as I was going to college and started storm chasing in between classes at Mississippi State University, and then was lucky enough to get my my first job in Wichita, Kansas, and that was in 1995. And got to go out there, was out there for 3 years, and we did a lot of storm chasing there. And that's really where I got the most use from my ham radio license. And it was always fantastic, always met great people. and a lot of help that the amateur radio helped me in storm chasing, because out in parts of Kansas, if anybody's ever been out there, there's not much coverage of anything else out there, and so you had to have a ham radio if you were going to do any storm chasing at all.
Now, do you still get on the air, or do you listen to Skywarn there for your job?
Personally, I don't use it as much anymore. I still have a handy talkie that I have in my house that I'll listen to every once in a while. I don't talk as much as I used to, but I did just recently update my my license because it was about to expire, and I wanted to keep it because I wanted, I'll probably get back into it more. But we actually have Skywarn here. The Dayton Skywarn is headquartered here at WHIO-TV. They've got their office here in the building, just down the hall, really, from the Weather Center. So it's a fantastic operation. The folks there are very good, and I'll go in there and listen to them, or somebody on our team will go in there and listen to them, especially when we have severe weather. So we are actually making more of an effort to help them out and appreciate what they do here in our building as they cover severe weather coming in out of Indiana into Ohio. So I do stay involved with it and listen to it, and have certainly communicate with the storm chaser events, and most of those guys are amateur radio operators.
Well, Eric, that's pretty cool. Thanks for coming on and doing this. Any last words for the people going to Hamvention this weekend?
I've always appreciated amateur radio operators. We have several here in the building. Most of those guys are engineers, and they actually help us with our radar systems and everything else. So I've always appreciated those guys. I know you guys are tech savvy, and it's a lot of fun. So I wish everyone the best weekend, and hopefully no one gets stuck in the mud out there.
All right. Thanks again, Eric. That's Eric Elwell, KD4BNT. And you can catch Eric and his team on WHIO-TV Channel 7 while you're here in Dayton area for continuing weather coverage. In fact, it's coverage you can count on. That's what they say. Well, it's time for some traffic, and we're expecting a call here soon. But first, let's look at some of the regular traffic around the Dayton area. So, for once, the traffic isn't all that bad in the Dayton area. Most of the construction on I-75 has been finished, so there's not a whole lot going on, but there's still some at the US 35 West ramp to I-75. There's a closure there on the ramp, and you can go around that north and go to the US 35 East ramp. And then Stewart Street to US 35, there's a ramp closure there as well. And also, if you go through northern Kentucky, if you're coming in from the south and going through Cincinnati, I-71 and 75, there's some nightly lane closures and weekend lane closures for some construction there. So watch out for that. Be careful out there on the roads, and enjoy your trip into Hamvention. Talk-in frequencies here, 146.94 is the main repeater with its PL of 123. The alternate is 146.985, and that's a 123 PL also. The traffic bulletin station is on 145.525. 145.525. They'll have some repeating bulletins on there about traffic. You can also get the text alerts from Hamvention, Hamvention 18 at 888-777. And Dayton Hams also monitor 223.94 and 442.1. Midcars is available on 7.258. And also, they announced they're doing one of those AM information stations. The normal one is on 1660 AM, but they're doing a special one on 1620 AM. Listen to that a little bit today. So you can get some information there. And they're trying out a 20-meter net, but not sure if that's going to be going all weekend, but they're going to try around 14.325. And if you're doing DMR, there is a DMR code plug at arl-ohio.org. If you want to download all those, you can do that as well. When you're coming into Hamvention, if you are following the ADA parking, make sure you enter at gates 3 or 4. Flea market enters gate 2, and inside exhibitors have their own little map, so make sure you know where you're going here. Traffic in Greene County actually looks pretty good, and hopefully we'll have a call here to fill you in on that a little bit more. As far as gas prices go, I was going to tell you that you ought to wait and get your gas at Dayton, and then all of a sudden today the gas prices went up. So if you can find anything under $2.99, you probably ought to take it, because just about everything in the region is at $2.99. But we did find some. Sam's Club seems to be the good one. Beaver Creek was $2.74. Washington Township $2.65. Costco in Centerville was $2.65. The BP in Fairborn was $2.67 earlier. In Xenia, most were $2.99. The BP and the Shell were at $2.71 and $2.74 respectively, but pretty much if you find anything under $2.99, you probably better take it. All right, we're going to take a break, but we'll be back with the parking information, shuttle bus information, and some event information right after this from Tower Electronics right here on Ham Talk Live. This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you in part by Tower Electronics. Tower Electronics has been the Ham's Dime store since 1978. When you need connectors, mobile and handheld antennas, cables, or adapters, visit Scott or Jill at a Hamfest near you. Or you can order online at pl-259.com or call 920-435-2973. Stock up on those supplies like PL259 and N connectors, SMA adapters, audio cables, soldering supplies, mobile antennas, and ham sticks. Their silver-plated N connectors are even used on the International Space Station. Tower Electronics carries MFJ, Comet, Daiwa, OPEC, Workman, and Ham Pro products. And don't miss their 0% off sale going on now. Tower Electronics, online at pl-259.com, proud to sponsor this episode of Ham Talk Live.
Coming to you live from Dayton, Ohio, here's Neil Rapp with more Ham Talk Live.
Thanks to Scott and Jill at Tower Electronics for sponsoring the show tonight to help bring you Ham Talk Live. They're inside Building 3, spot 3501, right in the front of the building, and outside on the curve just to the east of Building 3, spot 9113 and more. Saw them out there today. Look for the big yellow blimp, and if you can't make it to Hamvention, give them a call at 920-435-2973 or online at pl-259.com. Well, welcome back to our Hamvention Prep episode, coming to you live from the SpringHill Suites, Dayton, South Miamisburg. We're just down the street from the Dayton Mall, and they are sold out. If you're looking for rooms, you're not going to find them here. But thanks for tuning in tonight. We hope that we're helping your trip to Hamvention be more enjoyable. So one of the things we wanted to talk about is parking. And last year, they tried to do a lot of the parking on site, and it just wasn't working out real well, and with all the rain. And so they've decided to go back to what they had done a lot at Hera, which was the remote parking and free shuttle service. So there is parking still available there at the fairgrounds, but it is kind of weather dependent. So you can get some parking there, but they really suggest that you take one of the remote lots. Now, the remote lot list is on the website at hamvention.org. We're going to run it down for you in just a little bit, but you can find the GPS coordinates there and the actual full address on there so you can put it in your GPS and find it easily. But the remote lot number 1 is a closed car dealership and a closed grocery store on CJ Drive in Beaver Creek. That's in the 33 and 3400 block of CJ Drive. You can go with 3401 CJ, that's SEAJAY Drive in Beaver Creek. And you can park there and ride the free shuttle bus in. Lot 2 is at Xenia High School, which is 303 Kinsey Road in Xenia. Lot number 3 is Young's Jersey Dairy, and that's on Springfield Xenia Road in Yellow Springs. And from what I hear, that's worth a stop whether you want to park there or not. I hear it's some pretty good ice cream. Lot 4 is the Greene County Government Campus. That's 667 Dayton Xenia Road in Xenia. And then Lot 6 is the old Kmart lot in Xenia, 84 Xenia Town Square. So if you take one of those parking lots, you can get a free shuttle bus ride, and they'll run you through all the back roads and everything and get you in there and get you out. And they do have, don't forget, the equipment drop-off. So if you have equipment that's too big to take back on the bus, you can just leave that there and pick it up. And you can come back and pick that equipment up whenever you want. So, okay, we've got a phone call here, so let's see who's on the line.
Hello, Gene Fischer from the Sheriff's Office in Greene.
There he is. Gary, can you hold on for just a couple of minutes?
Sure.
Okay, we're joined now by the Greene County Sheriff, and it's the call we were expecting to talk about some traffic in Greene County. And because of some of the work with Hamvention, we're proud to say that the Greene County Sheriff, Gene Fischer, is KX8GCS. So he's one of us now. So, Gene, thanks for calling in and tell us a little bit about the traffic flow in and out of Hamvention this weekend.
Well, everybody that's here last year knows that Friday was a heavy traffic day, and there were a lot of backups. So we are encouraging people to use off-site parking and jump on the bus and come to the Hamvention on the bus. There is parking at the fairgrounds, and so if you come in, expect to back up a little bit. Hopefully, we made some changes that will facilitate a smoother entrance into the fairground parking area. But if you can take advantage of the off-site parking and bus into the site, that would be our recommendation.
Okay, very good. Now, any construction or road closures that people need to be aware of?
There's some construction in downtown Xenia. They've got some new asphalt down and new markings on the road, but it shouldn't change the traffic flow that you guys had last year. So it's that's not going to be an issue at all. There is one. If you're coming in from the north on 235 coming into 68, which takes you into Xenia, has a small detour, and it probably just adds 3 or 4 minutes to your drive time. Other than that, we're good to go.
Okay, now when I was looking through some of the information, I saw that is it Traben Road, where a lot of people turn coming from Dayton proper. There's going to be construction there, but was that held up or just
that construction has been completed? What they did there was, as you're leaving now, that was a one-lane road. They created a right turn lane off of Traben onto westbound 35 to go back to Dayton. So that should be a benefit.
Okay,
and it is
so
open.
That's over with, so that's even better. So I had no problems today, but of course there weren't a whole lot of people going in today. So it was nice to meet you today, and appreciate you coming on. Now, why don't any advice first for people coming in?
Well, first of all, we got something else we started this year, and it's the text alerts from my office for just Hamvention attendees. People can, if they would text Hamvention with a capital H, Hamvention 18 with no space, and you text that to 888-777, it will automatically sign you up to receive text alerts from the sheriff's office. And we plan to use that if there are traffic issues on the roadway. And I know that we got the DARA talk-in group going, but we can text to your cell phone certain things like this road's blocked. We recommend using this outlaw to park, or if the Xenia High School off-site parking is full, we'll send a text alert out for that. So it's a good way for us to keep in communication with everybody coming to the Hamvention. It also is automatically going to send National Weather Service alerts if we get any thunderstorm or tornado activity in the area. So hopefully keeps their fingers crossed so we don't get too much rain and definitely no severe weather. But that's a good thing to have, and hopefully just another way that we can use technology to keep everybody informed of what's going on.
Yeah, I signed up for those some time ago and been seeing a lot of those. Got one while ago about the lightning, so we appreciate you taking the time to make that happen, and we'll be watching those.
Our goal is to make everybody's experience here in Greene County and the entire Miami Valley a pleasant one, and just make sure everybody has a nice, safe time.
Okay, again, that's Hamvention 18 with a capital H, no space, Hamvention 18, and just text that, all one word, to 888-777, and that'll sign you up for those. So, Gene, before we let you go, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this call sign thing happened?
Well, first of all, this is not my Greene County's foray into the Hamventions. Not my first time at the Hamventions. My father-in-law was a ham radio operator, and he would come up from Southern Ohio, and we would get in the car and go to Hare Arena every year. My wife and I. My wife had her license for 30 years, let it expire. Last year, after the Hamvention, we took the classes, and both of us are now got our tech, and then afterwards I went to the general classes, and now I'm a general. But my call sign, KX, X stands for Xenia, or it's also the 24th letter of the alphabet, which was a badge number I carried as a Xenia police officer several years ago. 8, the region we're in Ohio, and then GCS, Greene County Sheriff. So KX8, GCS.
Very good. Well, we're glad to have you officially along and licensed, and we appreciate all your efforts to make everybody's trip to ham radio Mecca a little better.
It is it had so much fun last year, of being an official. On Saturday I was standing at the gate. I'll be there tomorrow morning, probably every morning, greeting people when they come in. So, any of your listeners want to just come up, shake my hand, say hi, say they heard me, that'd be great.
We sure appreciate that, and I appreciate that you talking to me earlier this morning. So, Gene, thank you so much for calling, and thanks to you and all of your staff for all the work this weekend.
Yep, we will. We'll be out there to make sure everybody has a safe time, and if you need anything and see one of the guys in uniform, just ask them. They'll be there to help.
All right, Gene. Thanks so much. 7-3.
Yep, have a good one. Take care.
All right, that's the Greene County Sheriff, and that's I'm losing my notes because this is all out of order. It's live radio at its best. Greene County Sheriff Gene Fischer, KX8 GCS. So thanks for joining us. And we were getting ready to go to Gary on the line here. We're going to switch from parking over to some of the events that are going on. And joining me tonight is my friend Gary West, K8DEV, from the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting, and they're having an open house down there in Westchester, Ohio, which is just south of Dayton, off of I-75, and Gary's going to tell us a little bit about that. So, Gary, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Neil. Happy Hamvention Eve.
Yes.
We got off to an early start today and had a great time. Had a good crowd come through, people from as far away as California, and actually one gentleman from Sydney, Australia stopped in. And this is the first year that we've been open on Thursday of Hamvention weekend. But we had several requests, and it turned out that there was quite a demand for that. So I'm sure we'll want to do that in the future. But for your listeners who may not be aware of it, we are located at the former Voice of America Bethany Relay Station in Westchester, which is between Cincinnati and Dayton, just off I-75. Tylersville Road exit. And those of you that are old timers like me will remember coming up 75 to Hamvention and seeing all those towers. Well, the towers are gone, but we still got a lot of radio stuff here. And we hope that people that are looking for something to do over the next 3 or 4 days will take advantage of the expanded hours that we have here. Just a little background, the Bethany Station was operational from 1944 to 1994 and had 6 of the most powerful shortwave transmitters in the world, which were enhanced by some very sophisticated high-gain antennas, effective radiated power in the 10 to 20 megawatt range on HF, and it broadcast to listeners seeking truth in Europe, Africa, and South America during World War II and the Cold War, and broadcast in over 50 different languages. So we got a lot of stuff to look at here, and not the least here, I've got my feet up at Station 2 in WC8 VOA, which is the Westchester Amateur Radio Association club station, which is located here at the museum, and the radio club is a division of the museum and the resident radio club here at the museum. And we are open, and we hope that some folks will come along and bring their licenses and get on the air, although we had an awful lot of QRN today, I'm afraid. Hopefully that'll get better as the weekend progresses here. But we've got some real unique exhibits. One of the things that is a particular interest to most people coming to Hamvention is we have a very comprehensive collection of Drake amateur radio gear. This was R.L. Drake's personal collection that was housed at the R.L. Drake Company until that building was repurposed. And we were fortunate enough that we were allowed to display those rigs here. And I think we've got just about every piece, or at least about every piece I can remember. The only thing to me that's real obvious that we don't have is an L4B linear, and we're going to have to get to work on that. And another real interesting thing...
You may have to wrestle some people away for that one.
Yeah, well, that's right. We'll hint around, and maybe we'll do some good, you know. The other thing that's of a lot of interest to the RF-oriented people is we do have one of the remaining Collins 250,000-watt transmitters here to look at, and we also have the 1960s VOA master control room. WC8 VOA is actually housed in a recreation of the original 1940s era control room, so you get a chance to see how that is situated also. And something new, a couple things new that weren't here last year at Hamvention time, we have a new display about Powell Crosley Jr., and some folks may say, well, who the heck is Powell Crosley Jr.? Powell Crosley Jr. started Crosley Broadcasting, and Crosley Broadcasting is responsible for the Voice of America Bethany Station. It was actually constructed by his engineers. He was not an engineer or an inventor himself, but he was a very skilled guy at taking ideas and commercializing them. And there's a lot of things here, the Shelvador refrigerator and stuff like that he created. So I think you'll find that very interesting. Not to mention the Crosley car, by the way. We do have one of those here as well to look at. And we have a traveling exhibit currently at the museum. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Courier was a Cold War era floating radio transmission facility that was permanently anchored in the Mediterranean off the coast of Rhodes, and it relayed VOA Bethany broadcasts to the Middle East and Soviet Union, and it also relayed some of the other VOA stations. And it's just real interesting, the story there. And actually, we had somebody at the museum today whose dad was involved in that process. In the early 60s, they constructed a local land-based VOA station in Greece itself, but his dad was overworking on that and was there. Of course, while they were constructing the station, they still had to use the Courier to broadcast from there. So he was a very young man and has a lot of memories, and he was really thrilled to see the display because he was not aware the display was here. We also have a couple of things where there's work in progress, Neil, and I don't think you've seen some of this stuff, but we're in the process of creating a Bethany Station site model, and we were going to make it a scale model, but this whole site was so large that the model would fit in the room. The biggest feature that was going to be on the model was the towers, and they were going to be about 2 inches tall. So what we decided to do, so you could see more detail, is some of the main structures like the transmitter building and some of the antennas and transmission lines are going to kind of pop out of the display so you can see more detail. I think people will find that interesting. It's not finished, but there's enough there that you're going to really get a good idea what it's going to look like. And then also we have some information to share about an exciting new antenna project that we're in the beginning stages of. So that's a couple of new things that are going on here at the museum. Now, what we've done to accommodate Hamvention is we're going to be open tomorrow evening, Friday, from 4 to 9, Saturday and Sunday. I think Neil, that the museum has begun opening every weekend, each Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4. So this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to extend the Saturday hours from 1 to 9, and then we will be open Sunday from 1 to 4. And I did get a couple phone calls from people concerned that they might not be able to see everything they want to see by 4 o'clock. So, we'll tell you if you can get here by 4 or a little bit before 4, we'll make sure that you get to see the place, and we won't shut the lights out right at 4 o'clock. We'll give you a chance to see the museum. Love to have people come and join us. So a little bit of information there, and if you want additional information, we do have a booth at Hamvention. It's booth number 1910. That's in E1 Maxim Hall, and stop by and see some of the guys there. I'm going to be there for a little bit tomorrow myself right after noontime, and just really enjoy the chance to get together with everybody. But very
of course,
quickly,
the website
there's a couple
is... go ahead. Sorry.
It's www.voamuseum.org or WC8VOA.org, Whiskey Charlie 8 voiceofamerica.org.
Well, Gary, we look forward to seeing you this weekend. Some of the Newsline crew is going to be down there and be on the air from WC8 VOA, hopefully, if we don't have any thunderstorms this year. And we sure look forward to seeing all that and invite everybody down.
We're looking forward to it. And come on down I-75 or Route 42. You can't miss it.
All right. It's Gary West, K8DEV. Thanks for calling in, and we look forward to seeing you here in a couple of days.
Okay. Thanks very much, Neil. And everybody have a good Hamvention.
All right. 7-3. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about a few more activities and wrap things up after this from Amateur Radio Newsline right here on Ham Talk Live.
Nominations are now open for the Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Young Ham of the Year Award. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. Since 1986, we've had the honor of celebrating the accomplishments of youth in ham radio, and we want to know about your exceptional young ham. You'll find the rules and a nominating form by clicking the WHIO-TV tab on arnewsline.org. Fill it out, send it in, and we'll see you and an amazing young ham at the Huntsville, Alabama Ham Fest in August. Thanks, and 73 from Amateur Radio Newsline.
All the information you need for your trip to Dayton. It's Hamvention Preview here on Ham Talk Live.
Again, the Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting hours, 4 to 9 p.m. tomorrow. That's Friday, and then Saturday 1 to 9, and Sunday 1 to 4, and they'll stay around a little while longer if you need them to. And again, voamuseum.org. Well, there's a lot of other stuff going on besides what's going on out there at Hamvention. The contest Super Suite is available from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. each night at the Crown Plaza, downtown Dayton. On the second floor, that's the Harding, McKinley, Garfield, and Harrison rooms, and they have pizza parties all 4 nights, and a cash bar is available. On Thursday night tonight, it's wings and pizza, and then tomorrow night, the pizza party's at 11, but at 10, it's Working by the Numbers. It's the band live in the Presidential Ballroom, second floor of the Crown Plaza. I think the way Tim Duffy, K3LR, put it was, there were great bands like the Beatles, and then they broke up. Well, the Spurious Emissions band, they broke up. But some of the same people made a new band. It's Working by the Numbers, and you will hear some familiar music from the Spurious Emissions band, like maybe something about a possible handheld, like a bow thing? Possibly. So I'm told. So be sure you check that out tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, Presidential Ballroom, Crown Plaza. And then another pizza party at 11 o'clock on Saturday night. Some other stuff going on tomorrow at after Hamvention. The Dara Clubhouse is going to have an open house from 6 to 8 p.m. That's at 6619 Belafonte Road in Huber Heights. The Southwest Ohio DX Association DX Dinner is at the University of Dayton Marriott at 7 p.m. And the guest speaker is Gary Dixon, K4MQG. And if you want more information, swodxaevents.org. AMSAT and Tapper will have their banquet. There's a D-Star gathering at 6:30 at the Drury Inn on Miller Lane in Dayton in the ballroom. And then the D-Star InfoCon will be at 8 p.m. there in the Drury Inn ballroom. Flex Radio and the DX banquet is 7 to 10 tomorrow night. That's at the Hilton Garden Inn, Dayton South, Austin Landing. Come hear the latest from Flex Radio and special guests. Advanced registration is required. That's at flexradio.com. The Top Band Dinner is at 7 p.m. and social hour at 6 p.m. at the Crown Plaza in downtown Dayton. The featured speaker, Top Band DXer Jerry Rosilius, WB9Z. Got to see Jerry today, and it was good to see him. And he hit 3 deer at their pre-Dayton barbecue the other night. Can't believe that. And Val said that he doesn't operate single. He always operates multi, so he had to hit 3 deer. I only hit 1 deer this year, but he hit 3. But he's fine. I saw him today. And the Collegiate Ham Radio Dinner is 6:30 to 9 p.m. at Caddy's Tap House of Beaver Creek. So if you are in the collegiate ranks, I'm sure Sam Rose would appreciate seeing you and all those guys in the collegiate ranks. So again, that's 6:30 to 9 at Caddy's Tap House in Beaver Creek. On Saturday, Dara will again have an open house at their clubhouse, 6 to 8 p.m. You need to check that out. It's pretty impressive. The Dayton contest dinner is at 6:30. The social hour starts at 5:30. That's at the Crown Plaza. And those tickets are available exclusively on the contest dinner website. And the QRP Grand Banquet is 7:30 to 10 o'clock at the Holiday Inn Fairborn. So we're going to wrap things up here. Some news. Well, some people have been looking at, okay, are there any big announcements from all the manufacturers coming, and Paul Brown sitting here in front of me, and fellow Kenwood fan, and we're waiting to see what they unveil tomorrow. But some rumors are going around. I heard some today, but we'll see what they have to say, but haven't heard anything yet. Did hear at Contest University that Flex said that they did not have anything big to announce yet, so don't have a whole lot of information. It's tight-lipped. It's almost like an Apple iPhone event. It's like nobody's saying anything. They're creating all the buzz by not saying a word, so I don't know. Hammy's going to be wandering around Friday and Saturday. Again, we'd love to see your pictures from that. So be sure you post those on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hashtag HamTalkLive. And again, the I'm Not Wilbanks buttons from Amateur Radio Newsline, while supplies last. Stop by the Ham Nation and Newsline booth next to Heil Sound. That's in Hertz Hall, Building 5. And you can get your I'm Not Wilbanks button. And you can come get your picture taken with Flat Dawn. So Flat Dawn will be back, and you can get your picture and post those photos with the hashtag I'm Not Wilbanks. So we miss our buddy Don Wilbanks, AE5DW, that can't make it, but his son Tyler's graduating, and so we'll let that be a good reason to not be here. So congratulations to Tyler. Tyler was here last year. Tyler served as Hammy the mascot too, and so we miss Tyler too. So Tyler, congratulations. So let's take one last look at the weather with Storm Team 7's Eric Elwell, KD4BNT.
We'll be tracking scattered showers and thunder showers through the weekend, but there will be some dry time right now. The best bet of dry weather looks to be later in the day on Saturday and into early Sunday. More showers and storms are expected to arrive Sunday night. Hopefully everything goes just smoothly. From the Storm Center, I'm News Center 7 Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell for Ham Talk Live for the Dayton Hamvention 2018.
Okay, and just a reminder, the hours this weekend: Friday 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 9 to 1, and then they raffle off all the stuff that people didn't pick up. So make sure you get your ticket in there and enjoy Hamvention. So that's a wrap for this special Hamvention episode of Ham Talk Live. Thanks to my guests, StormCenter 7 WHIO-TV Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell, KD4BNT, Greene County Sheriff Gene Fischer, KX8GCS, Gary West, K8DEV from the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting, and everyone out there in cyberspace for listening, and invite you back next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time when Matt Thomas, W1MST, will be here to talk about his blog, amateurradio.com. And for a list of all of our upcoming guests, visit hamtalklive.com. And if you like Ham Talk Live, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen. It helps others find us faster. So for now, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375. Have a great time at Hamvention, and may the good DX be yours.
Well, you came right back to my CQ call. Your readability 5 and strength 9. You never once mentioned your weather at all, and I didn't mention mine. We talked and talked for hours and hours. I completely forgot you're a ham. I don't know your power or the height of your tower. Frankly, I don't give a damn. So 73s to you and your family. I'll be seeing you further down the log. Your 73s to you and your family. I'll be seeing you further down the log. It's hard to believe that you're anti-Dean, 'cause you sound just like a local up here. Why don't those whistling Mediterraneans check if the frequency's clear? We're warm and cozy in our shacks, and we have talked about thousands of things. About shoes, about ships, about sealing wax, about cabbages and kings. So 73s to you and your family. I'll be seeing you further down the log. Your 73s to you and your family. I'll be seeing you further down